and Brad, the two most famous physical therapists on the internet.
Hi, folks. I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
Together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
Today we're going to talk about 1 minute weight loss, calorie losing, weight loss workout. Do this before a meal and to decrease weight. I thought you were going to say before a meal and after a meal, but it's before a meal.
Right, but as we're talking about this,
You can do before and after.
Yeah, but before we go any further,
If you're new to our channel, please take a second to subscribe to us. We provide videos on how to stay healthy, fit, pain-free, and we upload every day. Also, you're going to join us on our social media platforms. We got the official Bob and Brad on, what is it, Brad?
Instagram crackers.
And we are also on Facebook. We got Bob and Brad, and we're on Twitter. And
Oh, we're all over.
And by the way, you definitely want to take a look down in our description below or on Facebook. We are doing a giveaway again of a mattress, the SleepOvation mattress.
Right.
We're going to have their sign up here pretty soon.
Yeah, well, it's a nice mattress.
Yeah, it's a good mattress, and all we need is your name and email on that contest. You got to go to their site and put it there. Some people are putting them down below. I'm like, no. You got to. They're putting them on Facebook. They were putting them on their name and email.
Right.
Like, no. You got to go to the contest. So.
Okay.
And if you're wondering, I just didn't change over to puberty. I have a cold. So, all right, Brad.
Wow.
What are we talking about today?
Okay, so this time of year, January, people are thinking about their new goals. Oftentimes, get the weight down is very common. So this is one of those quick little things that you can do. It's not been 100% proven that it works, but it's one of those little things that I want you to talk about.
Yeah, there's some science behind it. This is based on Tim Ferriss. I don't know. I'm becoming a big fan. He wrote the 4 Hour Work Week, and he also wrote the 4 Hour Body.
Books.
Yeah, books, and they're big volumes like this. And he's got it's just like the 4 Hour Body is just loaded with hints on how to lose weight and how to gain weight if you want to gain muscle
mass.
Yeah, and he's a very type A type guy, and he does look into the science, and he does check with experts in the field all over. And this is one little thing I caught note of, and I do practice it to some extent, and it did make a difference in my life.
Sure.
So basically what he's saying is, because they did a study on rats, and they found out that if they put the rats through some intensity exercise, that they had, and then they would check their muscle and their fat afterwards.
So they're looking at physiology.
Yeah, their physiology, and they'd find out that if you do an exercise before and after a meal, it can be very short. You actually have more of your, what do you call them, cells going into muscle rather than fat. You're having less fat deposited, and you're having more muscle built up.
Okay.
So it is a way of having less fat develop, through your insulin and such like that, by doing the exercises before and after.
So we're looking at a very short exercise.
Right.
You don't have to put your workout clothes or anything and then work out and then change and go back and eat.
Yeah, he went to the point where he would do this first exercise. He would actually do it in the toilet stall and in the bathroom.
Because he was out to eat.
Yeah, he was out to eat.
And he does go out to eat with, often.
And he's doing air squats basically over the toilet. Right before he eats.
Because he felt uncomfortable doing it out in the restaurant.
Well, I would say I'd rather be doing that.
Well, some people do anything.
But we'll show you some other things too. But I mean, I've started, like I said, incorporating this, and the science was showing that they had to have the rats do it for like 280 seconds. I think that was combined before and after. But he's thinking you could probably get by with less time.
Yeah. So we've got 2 exercises that you can do, actually 3
exercises
that you can do, and it's going to take you about 60 seconds before you eat, and then eat, and then after you eat, you do it again, and that's it.
Yep. And hey, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? You're going to get a little workout before and after.
Right.
And some of these actually have some other double benefits.
Right. Okay. So we'll start out with, there's 2 options. Bob's going to do one option, depending on your age or your fitness level or your level of balance and strength. I'm going to do a little bit more aggressive option. So here, you imagine your supper table there. You've got your meat, you've got your yogurt, you got a glass.
What about vegan?
Yeah, you got your salad. Okay,
all right, there we go.
We're set to eat healthy. And just before you go, we're simply going to do squats.
Yep.
So,
And he can do some, like, and you know, he was, like I said, doing them over the toilet. I can do them over
right.
the chair.
Would you quit that part about the toilet? We're at the supper table, Bob. He's really onto that thing. And so you're going to do 5 to 10 of these, okay? And that's the first part. And then the next part, we're going to get the upper body involved. We're going to do some push-ups. Now, Bob is going to do push-ups off the countertop. I'm going to go to the floor. And we're just going to do 5 to 10 push-ups right there by the supper table. Don't worry about it if the kids are watching.
Go to the countertop.
Get the whole family involved.
Yeah.
You know, this is a family program.
So again, you're going to get things deposited into muscle as opposed to deposited into fat.
Right.
So, and the final one, I really like this because it's very portable.
Yep.
I mean, you could carry that in a restaurant. Again, you could do that in the bathroom.
And
Or you can impress your date.
yeah, just do it right there in the restaurant.
Yeah.
Stand up, and then we're working on posture as well.
Right.
And we're working some large muscle groups in the backside. And as therapists, we like to really be complete with exercises. So I think this one completes everything for good posture. Working a lot of large muscle groups. And there you go.
I just do it on one meal. I
Yep.
do it on my supper,
Yep.
basically. And it seems to have made a difference for me. I mean, maybe, you know, there's a lot of other things going on in my life, so I don't always know which things are working,
Right.
which aren't. But it definitely dropped fat, and
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I'm stronger, but I'm definitely there's less fat.
Right. You know, it's one of those little things that, you know, if Tim Ferriss does it, like you said, he just doesn't make stuff up.
No,
You know,
he looks into things, and you can take a look at his book too, and you know, you'll get a lot of ideas on how to stay fit and to stay healthy.
Right. So there you go. Those exercises before, eat, and then afterwards, you know, put 2 more minutes of activity
Yeah.
into the meal.
And afterwards, he said it just has to be within 90 minutes, so you got some time afterwards.
So you got to, you don't have to do it right away.
Right,
Okay.
exactly. So,
Better yet.
all right, thanks for watching.